You are probably looking to visit Africa in 2022 and you're trying to figure out how you can do it on a budget, cheap, and also to save yourself some coins. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Myra Forbes and you are tapped into living in between. I'm going to be giving you some really easy practical tips that you can follow to make sure you save some money before you travel to Africa. Let's get into this. Now, a great way to really save yourself some coins is to book your ticket to visit Africa during off season. Now, generally, booking your ticket during holiday season is pretty pricey, regardless of the country that you go to, because let's be honest, all these companies know that most people are going to be off work and they're looking for somewhere to visit. So you choosing to visit the continent during off season means that you get to save money because it's way more cheaper, it's less crowded as well, and it means that you get to have a really great experience without breaking the bank. So even though it means you may not be able to experience the holiday season in Africa, however, you still get to visit the continent and still have a great time, because don't worry, the clubs will still be open, excursions, safaris, and all these different things will still be open, but the only difference is it won't be as crowded. Now, a really great trick that I found is that if you fly during midweek, it's actually cheaper than you flying in the weekend. And the reason why that is because companies knows weekends are the most popular times that people like to travel, because obviously they don't have to go to work. That's extra days they can add to their holiday. So if you want to save yourself some money and you have some holidays left over, I would definitely advise for you to book your flight for midweek. So those are the days between Tuesday and Thursday. So between those dates, flights tend to be much more cheaper than it would be on a Monday or a Saturday and a Sunday. So definitely would advise for you, if you are looking for tickets online right now, for you to look for tickets between midweek and to not look for tickets in the weekend unless you're very lucky and you find some really cheap tickets. And if you do, grab them straight away because they don't tend to last for long. Now, a really simple trick that I found when booking my tickets to travel anywhere in the world, whether it's Africa, Europe, and so on, is when I go online, is putting myself in incognito. So what this does is, for many people who may not know, is that every time that you go online and you are searching for cheap deals for when you're traveling, is all the other companies, based on your cookies, can actually see what you're typing, so they can see the deals that you have seen in other companies, so they kind of adjust their prices according to that. However, if you go incognito, what that means is they cannot see what you're searching, and you'll be able to get the cheapest deal. You can go incognito on your phone, you can go incognito on your computer. Also, another thing that I found out as well is that when you look for tickets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it's much more cheaper than any other days in the weeks. Definitely for me, when I'm looking for tickets to travel to places around the world, I always do it early in the morning on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because those days is less crowded, people are not really looking for deals, and I have found that many companies tend to dip their prices in those times. Generally, if you look for tickets early in the morning, prices tend to be cheaper because companies know people are not really looking for tickets during that time. So I definitely advise for you, go incognito, search for prices in the morning, and try the days between Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, if you're looking for a website to find really cheap flights, for me, I always use Skyscanner. Skyscanner, honestly, is like my favorite website to use to find cheap flights, simply because it's easy to use, and overall you get to see all the companies that are traveling to your destination, and you can compare all the prices. And again, you can go incognito using Skyscanner, so you can compare the prices when it's in incognito and when it's not, so you can kind of see which one is cheaper and which one is not. Now, we all know last minute travel deals can be really great, and you can actually save some money booking your ticket last minute. But certain things like transport, accommodation are way more cheaper when you book it in advance. So definitely I would say to you, if you are looking to go into the continent, to consider booking in advance to make sure you can save a little bit more than having to pay full price or more because you chose to do it last minute. Now I know for a fact when it comes to accommodation, it's always cheaper when you book in advance, transportation and so on, and you may actually get some really good deals if you book your ticket early. I know for a fact when it comes to Sierra Leone, if I book my ticket early, it's way more cheaper than me booking it last minute. Now, to make sure you don't end up going overboard and spending more money than you don't actually have, is to make sure you create a budget. Creating a budget means that you spend what you have and you don't end up spending what you don't have and getting yourself into debt. So definitely create yourself a budget before you travel into Africa, so you can be a bit more realistic, so you can know how much money you have to spend to buy a ticket to Africa and how much money you have left over when you're in the continent in terms of you spending, doing activities and so on. Now, I'll also say as well is when you are creating your budget to also create an emergency fund, because at the end of the day, anything can happen when you are traveling in any country in the world. So make sure you leave a little bit of space in your budget for an emergency fund. Now, the last and final tip I want to share with you guys is the final stage. So the stage where you've gone ahead, you've booked your tickets, you know, you've done your budget, you've saved your money, everything else. Now the final stage is this: when it comes to your packing, what you pack in your suitcase would really determine how much money you end up saving when you get into Africa. Because we all know, you know, if you end up not packing the things that you really are going to need, it means when you get into the country, you're going to end up having to spend money buying those things. So my advice to you is make sure you pack all the things you're going to need when you get there to make sure you don't end up spending money. Now, things like clothes tend to be very cheap, specifically in Sierra Leone and the Gambia as well. So sometimes I tend to not buy every single clothes or every single item that I'm gonna need, and I'm more focused on more the essential things I'm gonna need. Things like toothpaste if I'm gonna carry that with me, deodorant, mosquito sprays, medication, you know, personal first aid kits, all these different things that I know may be a little bit more pricey if I was to purchase them in Africa. I always make sure I pack them, and I pack a great quantity to make sure I don't run out. So definitely to save yourself extra money so you don't end up spending more than you actually should. So those are my top tips to help you save money traveling to Africa on a budget. I really do hope that these tips help you, and if you have any questions, please go in the comment section and write them below and I will answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not already a subscriber and you like this video, then please go ahead and click on the subscribe button so you can watch more videos like this as soon as I release them. And if you're already a subscriber to my channel, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on my next video. Bye.